Chapter 1. A distant world. In a far-off corner of the galaxy, there existed a vibrant and colorful planet called Harmonia. This extraordinary world was home to a diverse range of alien species, each with its own unique characteristics and abilities. Harmonia was a place where the inhabitants had learned to live in harmony, embracing their differences and working together to create a thriving society. The landscape of Harmonia was a breathtaking sight, with sprawling forests of luminescent trees, sparkling rivers that shimmered with iridescent hues, and magnificent mountains that towered above the clouds. Each region of the planet was inhabited by a different species, yet they all maintained a sense of unity and mutual respect. One fateful day, the tranquility of Harmonia was disrupted by a streak of fire across the sky. A human astronaut named David found himself hurtling through the atmosphere in a damaged spaceship. The craft had malfunctioned during a deep space exploration mission, and David had no choice but to make an emergency landing on the mysterious planet below. With a deafening crash, David's spaceship slammed into the soft, vibrant terrain of Harmonia. His vessel was left in ruins, and he was fortunate to have survived the impact. Dazed and disoriented, David climbed out of the wreckage to assess the situation. As word of the crash spread, the locals became intrigued by the strange visitor who had quite literally fallen from the sky. Cautiously, they approached the wreckage, their eyes filled with curiosity and concern. Representatives from various species, including the wise and gentle Cerebrians, the empathetic Melodians, and the highly skilled Aetherians, arrived at the scene, each eager to learn more about the newcomer and to offer assistance if needed. As David looked around, he was amazed by the diversity of the beings who had gathered to greet him. Despite his initial apprehension, he sensed their genuine kindness and curiosity. Little did he know that his arrival on Harmonia would mark the beginning of a remarkable journey, one that would change not only his own life but also the destiny of this harmonious world. Chapter 2. Embracing the Unknown. As David stood amidst the remnants of his spacecraft, he found himself surrounded by a diverse assembly of Harmonia's inhabitants. He felt a mixture of apprehension and fascination, marveling at the array of unique beings before him. Their appearances were strikingly different, yet they all exuded an air of harmony and cooperation. The wise and gentle Cerebrians, with their large, shimmering craniums, were the first to communicate with David, using their telepathic abilities to bridge the language gap. They conveyed their sympathy for his predicament and offered to help him repair his ship. Intrigued by their advanced intellect, David felt a sense of relief and gratitude. Next, David encountered the empathetic Melodians, a race of beings with a unique gift for music. Their melodious voices and instruments could convey emotions with incredible depth and nuance. Through their enchanting melodies, they wordlessly expressed their welcome and reassurance, making David feel embraced and understood. As David ventured further into Harmonia's society, he met the highly skilled Aetherians, a bird-like species known for their agility and craftsmanship. With their nimble hands and keen eyes, they offered to help David scavenge and reassemble the parts needed to restore his damaged vessel. Over time, David became immersed in the customs, languages, and cultures of the various species on Harmonia. He attended the Cerebrians' philosophical debates, listened to the Melodians' mesmerizing concerts, and learned about the Aetherians' extraordinary feats of engineering. Through these experiences, he gained a profound appreciation for the richness of Harmonia's diverse society and the way its inhabitants collaborated and coexisted in peace. As David's understanding of Harmonia's inhabitants deepened, he began to shed his initial fears and prejudices. He realized that, despite their different appearances and abilities, they all shared a common goal: to maintain the harmony and balance of their world. David's presence on Harmonia not only enriched his own perspective but also sparked the curiosity and empathy of the planet's inhabitants. They were eager to learn about humanity and the faraway world David called home. As both David and the Harmonians exchanged knowledge and experiences, they discovered that there was much they could learn from each other, fostering a sense of unity and friendship that transcended their differences. Chapter 3: Shadows over Harmonia. Life on Harmonia continued peacefully, and David found himself growing increasingly attached to the planet and its many diverse inhabitants. He began to feel as though he were a part of this harmonious society, where unity was celebrated and differences were embraced. However, one ominous day, dark clouds gathered in the sky, casting a foreboding shadow over the vibrant world of Harmonia. The serenity of the atmosphere was disrupted by a low, rumbling sound that shook the ground beneath their feet. As the inhabitants looked up in fear and confusion, they beheld a sight that sent chills down their spines. A colossal, pitch-black spacecraft, slowly descending towards their planet. Panic spread throughout the different species as they struggled to comprehend the nature of this menacing presence. The Harmonians had never faced such a threat, and they were unsure of how to respond. Desperate for guidance, they turned to David, whose knowledge of space travel and human technology might provide the insights they needed to protect their home. Drawing on his experience and expertise, David proposed a plan. He believed that the key to overcoming this ominous threat lay in the strength of the Harmonians' unity and their individual talents. By combining their diverse abilities and working together, they would stand a far greater chance of repelling the invaders and preserving the peace they had worked so hard to achieve. As the Harmonians rallied together, David coordinated their efforts. The wise Cerebrians devised a strategy for countering the alien invaders, using their vast intellect to analyze the enemy's movements and predict their next course of action. The Melodians, with their gift for music and emotional communication, sought to bolster the spirits of their allies, weaving songs of courage and hope that resonated throughout the planet. The Aetherians, renowned for their craftsmanship and agility, quickly set to work constructing weapons and defenses, using their nimble hands to create innovative devices that would protect their homes and families. Meanwhile, the Psychons, a race of telekinetic beings, honed their mental powers, preparing to unleash formidable psychic energy against the invaders. As the dark spacecraft drew ever closer, the inhabitants of Harmonia readied themselves for the battle that lay ahead. Despite the fear and uncertainty that filled their hearts, they knew that their greatest strength lay in their unity, their mutual respect, and the diverse talents they each possessed. United, they would face the impending threat, determined to protect the harmonious world they had created together. Chapter 4: The Power of Unity. With the dark spacecraft looming overhead, casting its ominous shadow upon Harmonia, the diverse inhabitants prepared to defend their cherished world. They knew that the battle ahead would be unlike any challenge they had faced before, but they stood united, their collective strength and determination shining like a beacon of hope in the face of adversity. As the first wave of invaders descended from the spacecraft, the Harmonians sprang into action. The Aetherians took to the skies, their agility and precision unmatched as they engaged the enemy in aerial combat. Their swift maneuvers and carefully constructed weapons allowed them to outmaneuver and disable the invaders' craft. On the ground, the Psychons unleashed their formidable telekinetic powers, hurling debris and creating force fields to protect their fellow Harmonians. They worked in tandem with the Cerebrians, who used their vast intellect to coordinate the defensive efforts and anticipate the invaders' strategies. Amidst the chaos of the battle, the Melodians continued to perform their essential role, uplifting the spirits of the Harmonians with their emotive and powerful songs. Their music served as a constant reminder of the unity that had brought them this far and the unwavering determination to protect their harmonious world. David, no longer a stranger in a foreign land but an integral part of Harmonia's united front, played a crucial role in the defense. He drew upon his knowledge of human technology and tactics, providing invaluable insights that helped the Harmonians adapt and respond to the invaders' relentless onslaught. Throughout the fierce struggle, the Harmonians refused to waver, their unyielding resolve and unity proving to be their most potent weapons. As the battle raged on, it became evident that the invaders had underestimated the power of Harmonia's diverse inhabitants. They had not anticipated the extraordinary strength that could be found in the unity of such unique and seemingly disparate species. In the end, the invaders found themselves outmatched and overwhelmed, their forces scattered and defeated by the indomitable spirit of Harmonia. As the last remnants of the enemy fleet retreated into the depths of space, the Harmonians knew that they had triumphed, not through brute force or superior weaponry, but through the power of unity, understanding, and cooperation. Exhausted but victorious, the inhabitants of Harmonia gathered to celebrate their hard-fought victory, their hearts swelling with pride and gratitude. They knew that they had faced an unprecedented challenge and that their world would never be the same. But they also knew that they had discovered the true power of their unity, and that no adversity would ever be insurmountable as long as they stood together. Chapter 5. A New Dawn for Harmonia. In the aftermath of the epic battle, Harmonia stood victorious, its diverse inhabitants having united to protect their world against the invading forces. As the dark clouds dispersed and the skies cleared, a new dawn broke over the vibrant planet, symbolizing the beginning of a new chapter in its history. David, who had once been a stranger in this land, found himself at the heart of the celebrations, embraced and hailed as a hero by the Harmonians. They recognized the pivotal role he had played in uniting their species and helping them to understand the true strength that lay in their unity. Grateful for the invaluable lessons he had learned during his time on Harmonia, David set about repairing his damaged spacecraft, drawing upon the assistance and expertise of his newfound friends. The Aetherians used their extraordinary skills to restore the ship's broken components, while the Cerebrians applied their vast intellect to enhance its navigation and communication systems. As the day finally arrived for David to depart, the Harmonians gathered to bid him farewell. Although they were sad to see him leave, they knew that their world had been forever changed by his presence, and they were grateful for the indelible mark he had left on their society. David, too, was forever changed by his experiences on Harmonia. As he prepared to embark on his journey back to Earth, he knew that he would carry with him the invaluable lessons he had learned about the power of unity and the importance of embracing diversity. He felt a deep sense of gratitude for the friendships he had forged and the wisdom he had gained during his time among the Harmonians. As David's spaceship soared into the sky, the Harmonians watched with a mix of pride and sorrow, their eyes glistening with tears. They knew that they had said goodbye to a dear friend, but they also knew that they had gained a powerful ally in their quest to spread the message of unity and understanding throughout the cosmos. With renewed determination, the inhabitants of Harmonia vowed to continue working together, embracing their unique qualities and fostering harmony in their world. They understood that their unity was not only their greatest strength, but also the key to ensuring a brighter future for their planet. The legacy of David's time on Harmonia would live on, a testament to the power of unity, the beauty of diversity, and the indomitable spirit of a world that had overcome adversity to stand united in the face of the unknown. And as the sun rose over the horizon, casting its warm light upon the land, the Harmonians knew that they had entered a new era, one in which they would continue to thrive, bound together by the powerful bonds of friendship, understanding, and cosmic harmony. Thank you for watching. You could download the vocabulary PDF below. To stay up to date on our future videos, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and let us know what you think in the comments below.